seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Get ready to explore the world of comics, past, present, and future, with our panelists Eric Hawkins, Brian Rodman, and Clyde Hall. And now here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
And good evening. How the heck are you? Glad you are here for Comic Book Spectrum on Thursday, March 17th, 2022. And maybe next time I won't mute myself when I'm doing the spiffy little scripted introduction that I gave.
How dare you!
I know, right? Anyway, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk about comic books as usual. And, of course, we welcome your comments. Whether you're watching us live or on the rerun, please leave us a comment, whether it's in the chat or whether it's below or above or wherever you happen to be. But anyway, we've also got our usual sponsors, namely Rising Tide Publications. I'm in with them, so they get first billing. And also Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Whether it's a great comic book or it's a great book, you know what sells your work to a potential customer the fastest? That's a great cover. And for that, you're going to need Plasma Fire Graphics. Jeffrey Hayes does wonders. You saw all the samples there. Well, go to the Plasma Fire Graphics Facebook page, see more, and then go to plasmafiregraphics.com and inquire about his indie creator-friendly rates. You will be glad you did. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. We're a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and following this show at 9 p.m. Eastern will be Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog McKeel with great geeky talk for a couple of hours, followed by Last Man Standing and Dan Hallfield and guests, continuing the conversation into the early hours of Friday morning, where Friday morning we've got Never Mind the Furthermore with me, and then an evening's worth of great entertainment and information. Check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook, and please subscribe. And thank you to our patrons on Patreon who keep the Rising Tide rising and moving forward. And if you would like to see what we offer you in exchange for your monthly financial support, and only $1 will get you a look at my blog, more will get you more. Check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And now I'm going to unmute these wonderful people who have joined me tonight, because we are joined by comic book royalty, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, we are joined by Brian Rodman, Joe D. McFee, Clyde Hall, and the Pro Slayer Eric Hawkins. Gentlemen, how the heck are you tonight?
And I would like to also add on to Brian's Patreon pitch, because paying more does get you more. Thank you for that lap dance last night, Brian.
Oh, you're welcome. And since you have the $1.99 per minute rate, that's I try to give more to the people who have the special deal with the special levels. That's true.
Hey man, it's a
It was just one time, Eric. I slipped. I'm sorry. Anyway,
that makes it worse.
And there's nothing left for OnlyFans, Clyde.
He slipped all right. Let me tell you about it.
That's right, my God. Good thing I had a...
Is it like that scene from The Last Boy Scout when Bruce Willis's best friend's describing to him why he had an affair with his wife?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, thank God I had a good grip on the pole there. I'm telling you, otherwise it could have ended calamitously. So anyway, I don't know where to go from there except to say hello, gentlemen, hello, audience, and we'll get to your comments in a moment. After everybody here introduces themselves, let's start with Clyde, and we'll go around the room clockwise. Clyde, tell everyone who you are and why you are so amazing.
Why did you take down the mature audience sign? I think you were premature on. There we go.
I wanted to put our logo up there, so believe me, this was coming back. I know where it's already gone. I was going to say future tense, but I'm beyond that now. Anyway, Clyde.
Hey, I'm Clyde Hall, independent author and contributing writer at a lot of places. I do weekly comic reviews at Comics Bookcase. That's www.comicsbookcase.com, where each new comic book day, we bring you reviews and interviews and all things comic news. I have features and reviews up at the comic info site, doomrocket.com as well, www.doomrocket.com. Go subscribe to their weekly podcast, Casual Wednesdays. You'll be glad you did. I'm also a contributing writer at Stormgate Press, with work appearing in their new pulp anthology series, Pulp Reality 1, 2, and Pulp Reality 3. All of them are available on Amazon, but you really should go to www.stormgatepress.com and see the full variety of publications there. I'm part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, where every Thursday evening, I'm a fifth of Comics Refreshness, review for refreshment right here.
Sounds like somebody's had a fifth already.
Yeah, it is. Happy Irish Day, everyone. So
there we go. Yeah,
I've got my green, and I've got my green.
You sure do. And I've got my complexion, so we're all in the mood here. So is that it, Clyde?
That's it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. And I believe next is the Pro Slayer himself, Eric S. Hawkins. Eric, introduce yourself, please.
Well, I'm Eric S. Hawkins, creator of the Zombie World of Oz. I'm an independent comic creator and extreme art critic of books I buy.
And I think we're going to get something tonight. Maybe not.
I don't know if I'll even review that book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll mention it, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it will come up.
Because out of the 48 panels this artist did, 10 of them were copied.
Oh, wow.
I counted them.
I now retract what I said last night, Eric.
And he was the best artist in the book.
That's sad.
Well, he got one pose and he just keeps milking it, just like Wally Wood used to say. So
yeah, but anyway, Zombie World of Oz. Obviously, I got issue 4 launching next month on April 8th. You can sign up for the Kickstarter. I did drop it in the chat, so it should be there. We already have 76 people signed up, so it's looking good already. We haven't launched. I want to beat my 37 minutes from last year.
nice. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So when that launches, everybody please support this project. It is a wonderful book. So thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you.
All right. And then next, I believe, is Joe D. McFee. Joe, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I am me.
That was good.
I am Joe D. McFee. I am the creator of such books as Amazonia, as well as Primetime Saturday Night, as well as the original AWF series here. And I'm also curator of the wonderful, if I can say it, YouTube show from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher that happens here on the broadcast network every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Most excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And rounding us out here is the man himself, the legend, Brian Rodman. Brian, and please introduce your friend over your left shoulder there.
Yes, so this is not Luna. This is Beasley. She's deceptively similar to Luna in appearance, nothing like Luna in attitude and spirit. Beasley is the sweetest animal I have ever come into contact with. Currently, she is awaiting her freedom from the prison that is my office. And Luna will probably visit us soon. But yeah, I'm Brian Rodman, and you can find me and all my shenanigans at brianrodman.com. I make books like Memoirs of an Angel and The Nebulizer, which I too will be launching a Kickstarter campaign for The Nebulizer issue 2 at the end of April. So that that Kickstarter campaign will be available to sign up for this coming weekend, because we are sending Memoirs issue 8 to the printers this weekend. Finally. So I'm very excited about that. I'm finishing up all the little odds and ends of the final, like the back cover and all that stuff now. So it's a lot of fun. Excited about sending that out to the backers, and that's enough of me jabbering. So let's do this thing.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
Jabberjaw.
Thank you, Brian Rodman.
Oh, and Eric, look, I got my skeleton hee glove.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. It said I wasn't supposed to get it till like May, and it showed up in the mail today. Yeah. So
Holy cow.
Well, yeah, it does come from China, so
that's true. I was like, oh yeah. So I just was gonna go with it, but it showed up early.
yeah.
Excellent.
I need to get a new one already.
Hold on.
This one's starting to get the fuzzies.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've sewn mine shut twice now, and it's dead. So I had to get a new one.
well, you don't sew up the big hole in.
No.
Okay.
Well, I did on accident, and it was hilarious. But see, like this is the other side. It's all frayed and ripped, and you can see my poor stitch job. So this
Ooh,
guy's
look how you
gone.
made it shiny, rubbing it on that glass so much. You've been drawing.
I have been, but now this one's so slippery that I'm like,
yeah, that's the way
try
this
and
one
draw
was
it
when I
over
first got it.
Yeah.
A little too slick.
Mhm.
You got to break it in, I guess.
I know.
Well, I'll give you a few seconds to draw here, okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm your friend. Anyway, I'm Brian K. Morris. I'm your friend too. I'm part of RisingTide.pub. Cookie is the main part, as we all know. But anyway, I'm a freelance author, writer, publisher. My best-selling book, Santastein, there. I also work for other publishers. This is available from Amazon. So with Santastein, this is available from Amazon. I've got an essay in there, and these wonderfully titled books are essays about the 1966 Batman TV series, and I do articles on Louis the Lilac and Egghead. You'll definitely be entertained. And also, I'm the author of Snow Ambition, part of the Snow Shorts book here that you can get for 99 cents. And the paperback here is available on Amazon as well. And my story has been nominated for Best Short Story in the Pulp Factory Awards. So please, thank you. And so everybody, please go to the Pulp Factory page and vote for me. I would appreciate it. Plus other people from Stormgate Press, other folks, but definitely get you a copy of this, read it first, and then vote for me several times, because I did used to live near Chicago, and so we can do that sort of thing. But anyway, I'm glad to be here.
Hey, so we can vote more than once?
No, I don't think so. Darn it!
Okay.
But I do appreciate everyone's vote. I would like to come out of nowhere and everybody's like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I'm a better marketer than most people. I'm not afraid to ask for favors. So anyway. That ends the introductions, but of course we got over 40 comments just waiting.
Wow.
People are active, which means usually they have engaged themselves in conversation and do not need us.
Or they're all Russian bots. Time will tell.
That's true. That's true.
There might be just people talking about Brian pooping.
That could be. My butt looked like the back of the Batmobile earlier today.
I believe that's going to be about a quarter of our comments.
Is that all right? Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
You mean you didn't just share this information with us in private?
I didn't, but I mean, somebody else may have shared it, which I'm totally okay with.
I don't know who would do that.
I have no shame in my poo-poo skills.
Hey, I'll poop anywhere.
Right.
I know a lot of people, they'll only poop at home. No, I don't care where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
give a
going.
crap. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel so much closer.
Everybody
to you,
poops.
If I feel the urge, I gotta go. You know what I mean? When you gotta go, you gotta go. So I drove on. I'll just share this with everybody then. On the way home, I had to go to the bathroom. I ironically went to the bathroom in a place called Heine Brothers, which is a coffee shop, and that's hilarious. So you're welcome.
Well, they've got that kind of coffee bean that is grown in excrement,
Well, maybe I hope they weren't harvesting while I was there. So,
well,
I have a poop story.
Oh, good. I'm not alone. Let's do this.
So
I know.
One of the places I really like to go and drop a deuce was Toys R Us when they were open. They had usually a good, clean bathroom. Target's always clean too, by the way. Walmart's kind of sketchy.
Oh, you want?
So we were in Toys R Us, me and my wife, This is around Christmas time. And I got the hit. I had to go.
Yeah, you got
Head to the bathroom. There's someone in the first stall. I'm like,
Oh no.
Okay, go to the second stall. I'm like, whoa, there's no toilet paper.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe I can hold it. So I go back out, find Jennifer, and we're walking around. I'm like, nope, I gotta go. Maybe that guy's done. I go back in there, and the guy's no longer in the first stall. He's in the second stall now.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, what's going on here?
That's an immediate red flag, Eric.
Then the stall
Got a wide
opens up.
stance.
This middle-aged man, maybe late 40s at the time, because I was probably in my early 40s, comes walking out with his pants around his ankles and underwear, but mind you, there's no toilet paper in there.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
I know. And his hands are covered with
no.
And his crotch is covered with.
Oh.
And this is a grown man standing in the bathroom at Toys R Us. I'm like, and the urge just left me. I didn't have to go anymore. I just walked out.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? I mean,
gosh.
Can't help you, buddy.
Yeah, the prairie dog.
You should have checked that like I did.
Good grief.
And Joe is, I'm watching Joe, and he's like, why am I on the lower level here? You're under Eric, and he just admitted when he's got to go.
Yeah. And hey, man, you know what was really weird about the Heine brothers experience today? They didn't have toilet paper either, but they had brown paper towels. So who knows what's happening down there right now? I have no clue.
It's like sandpaper.
Oh no! I'm pretty sure I had like 3rd-degree burns after I got up.
We actually have picked up people watching right now.
Quick, Hun, I got poop talk on Comic Book Spectrum. Tune in.
Oh, yeah, we just got somebody else just tuned in. Boy, did you pick the wrong show to watch tonight?
Or the perfect show because we all like to shit talk.
Right.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. And
this time it's just quite literally that.
Yeah, if you want to hear talk, you have landed on the right page, damn it. So, inexplicably, I'm still going to read comments. And Donna Carleen may have been premature as she gets comfortable.
Welcome.
Yeah, and this is probably what Brian and Eric are saying. Made it in time. And evening, Sarah. Sarah, why, you picked the wrong time, too. And hi, Sarah. Hey there. Hello. And It's true. We can't see him from the waist down. If he starts looking real happy, we'll know what happened.
You know what? I figured Brian did the show one time from the bathroom.
That's true.
So, I might as well double down and, double down.
That's true. At least I wasn't doing anything in there. At least I don't
that
think
we
I
know
was.
of.
That you know of. That's true. You notice that you can't see any of us below the waist. So God only knows what's happening. And yeah, I'm afraid yes, tonight's show has been brought to you by the letters TMI. And hello, Dark.
And the number 2.
Oh, you heard Bob Dylan's Blood on the Rails. Well, we've got poop on them now. It's the Eric. And I did not need that mental image, Carl.
Oh, just wait, Carl. We got more coming.
Yeah, we're just warming up here. And Donna is mocking Carl with her laughter. Either that or explosive diarrhea.
Yes.
We still have at least an hour and a half to fill, literally. So anyway, and here is somebody who's probably glad to have shared in the experience that Eric has shared. Good evening, Lizzie. How are you tonight? And she's going, I'm telling Mom. Anyway, Sarah, well, if there were rails, not anymore. we've covered them in fertilizer, and where did I put my denial? Oh, everyone say hello to Lissy, and the show hasn't even started, says Sarah. And we've sure put the kibosh on the rest of it once we got on here. And yep, I am no help. You know you aren't, Sarah. Keep up the good work. And now I don't feel so bad about muting myself during my introduction now. And yeah, yep. Let's get that up there. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. Oh, Rails. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks, Joe. Oh, my bad. My bad. Let's put everybody back where they were. Okay. And oh, dear Buddha is this a sign? And yep, there we go.
Yep.
If anybody is hot shit, that's Eric tonight. And no more Taco Bell before the show, guys. Oh, and I'm afraid to read this. With Pacey's in a banana hammock for the lap dance, Sarah, when you care to send the very best, you damn right. Anyway, that rated M just needs to be incorporated into the logo. Probably so. I know what I need to do this week. And Brian Rodman and nothing but Pacey's in a banana hammock? Says Donna.
Hey, one can only dream, right?
That's true, and I do. Anyway, Brazilian wax, I'm sure, says Sarah.
Oh, nothing but I spare no expense.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. Yeah.
It's like tromping through a rainforest, so I hear. Anyway, by the way, I was on the Star Chamber podcast, and a big shout out to Stephen, Holly, and Daniel for a wonderful interview last night. And this is done in conjunction with the Imaginarium convention in Louisville,
cool.
Kentucky. Stephen, Holly, and Daniel from there.
Yeah.
And it seems that they have noticed our bromance from last year.
Oh, is that true? It is. I've heard it is pretty legendary.
That's what we go for here. If you're going to do it right. And I don't know. And Donna says, I don't know, Sarah. I like a little hair. And then we have a bonanza. Anyway, dear Lord, the book I've been reading today, no bueno, not a comic book, but OMG, how awful it is. Yeah. Somebody says they have a cure for anxiety.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, no, you just learn to deal with it, or you give it to others. Why not share? And Travis Gibb, good to see you. Good evening, sir, and happy to see Eric.
Hey, Travis just launched a Kickstarter, Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, and I believe he's already over 15 grand.
Well, good for you, Travis. Congratulations. And wow, and Joe, and nothing for the other three. Anyway, Sarah says maybe a heart-shaped patch remaining. There you go, Brian. You could get the lawnmower out and just make a little thing. And plus the man, Brian Rodman. Okay, this narrows it down to 60% of the group now. Yeah. And Glenn Fleming. Hey, guys, time to bed. So I'll leave you with this. Laters. Okay, thanks, Glenn. Thank you for being here. And Glenn, of course, will tell you he is very proud of this book here because I edited it.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But anyway, it's about his legendary trip to see Jack Kirby, the King of Comics. Please pick this up. It's available now on Indiegogo. Available for sending it out to you. You'll be glad you did. And there's a DVD of Jack Kirby himself talking with Glenn and his friends. It is a must-have if you are any fan of comics. So glad to have you here, Glenn. And everyone's saying hi, Glenn, and hi, Beasley, says Carl. And
she escaped, and Luna is now in here with me somewhere, lurking in the shadows.
So
yeah.
So your minutes are numbered. And Sarah says, I better shut my face before I get myself banned. No, your face is fine. It's your fingers right now that are getting you in trouble, perhaps. Anyway, Ryan Permison has shared this. Thank you, Ryan. As always, it was good to be on with you last night on the show. With Willow and everybody. And happy Thursday, CBS crew. How are you? We are well. Thank you for asking. And Glenn's staying up long enough to say hello to Donna. And who was the British Flash that just shot through here? That was Glenn. He one night he was working late in the labs during a thunderstorm, and the rest is history. And everyone, and Brian is so freaking cool. See, now he's talking to you. Now we got 80%.
I think he's talking to the Fez man.
I doubt it very much. No.
How about we're both cool? How's that?
I'm still leaning towards you. Sorry.
We're only cool. We're cooler together. Isn't it special?
That's true.
Cool.
Oh, yeah,
coolness. There we go. See? There we go. Right there. There we go.
Oh, man.
I'll share my cool with you.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, I didn't know it was an insertion there. And Ryan Permisson, how goes the search for that Shadow Slam, Ted Davies? Oh,
Ooh.
and Glenn from Sarah and Brian. I'm glad to see you, Glenn. Mwah. And Joe and Bobby Nash has joined us. Bobby, it is good to see you, my friend. Bobby Nash, BobbyNash.com, who also published this book here. Please pick it up and vote for me, please, in the Pulp Factory Awards. And I'm thinking, Bobby, we do need to get into the Imaginarium Awards. I mean, what the heck, right? And Dad speaks the truth, says Lissy. He's a little too open about poop time.
Hey, you have to go, because if you miss the peak and you don't get to go when you need to go, you get a tummy rumble. No good. No bueno.
No bueno. No bueno. Tummy rumble, no good. And Carl Winston says, I think we're going to hear way too much about poop tonight. Well, no shit. Well, anyway. Yeah, thank you, Joe. And so we're reviewing poops rather than comics. Yeah, there we go. And good to see all of us. And I'm sure you meant to say Brian Rodman, too. And hello, welcome to my childhood, y'all, says Lissy. Lissy's having flashbacks right now. Off to the poop deck, says Sarah. Yes, and poor Lissy, says Carl Witzman. And there we go. And let's see. And I'm not going to read that, J.D. Smith. And hello, Sarah. And my best friend used Vicks coated tissues and said her butthole may never be the same again.
Oh, that sounds painful.
Eek.
Why would you do that?
Ow.
Yeah.
Probably by mistake, I would assume.
I would hope.
I would hope so.
Yeah. It's like, or, it's like, you get those baby wipes with the alcohol in them. And if you have to apply them to your nether regions, it's like, you might as well, it's like lighting a Roman candle. In every sense of the word. It will not be good. And poopfection. That's right. We have achieved poopfection on tonight's broadcast. And Cindy Kemp, hey, Kermit the Frog here. Good to see you, Cindy. Mwah. She's going, and ew, that topic stinks. That's true. That's true. Oh my God. Cindy wins tonight. Anyway, I promise we will keep the poop jokes to a minimum. However, our minimum may not be the same as yours. So I'm sure we'll be running this joke into the ground tonight. But anyway, if I have anything, what, honey? Too late, she says. Madam Executive Producer has spoken. So anyway, we are here to do some reviews, and thank you to everyone who has commented so far. You are appreciated here, and we hope you have some more. Yeah, seriously, good on you guys. Good on you guys. You guys help make this show work. And so let's start with Brian Rodman. Brian, you got some, Joe?
Yeah, we still have to do comic book phone.
The what now?
Comic book phone.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. I'm going to give you the floor here, Joe. I forgot, and I apologize. Joe, take it away.
Welcome to Comic Book Phone, where you can only choose your review and you can only select one. If you want to hear more about She-Hulk number 2, please type 1. If you want to hear more about Captain Carter number 1, please press 2. If you want to learn more about Lady Mechanica number 3, press 3. If you want to learn more about Daisy number 4, please press 4. Or if you want to learn more about War on Earth 3 number 1, please press 5. Please enter your selection now.
Ooh, they all look so good. I'm going to hold off on my vote.
Joe, appropriately enough, I'm going to go with number 2. Because my copy of that has not come in yet, so I'm anxious to see what you say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's mine. That's my vote.
Okay. Well, and the votes are cascading in. But first, Donna Carlene says this topic stinks, and yet we spent 30 minutes on it. Point taken. And to top off the wiping butt with Vicks, she's an LPN. That's scary. And the votes are cascading in. Carl Witzman votes for number 1. That's for people who don't want to commit yet. Donna is looking at number 4. Eric Hawkins is stacking the deck with either 2 or 4. Cindy Kemp would like to see 1. And adult supervision is here, says Sarah. Sarah, it'll be good. I'll be good not to be offensive now. Where? I don't see any adults here. Anyway, and certainly nobody up here. And I'm going to vote for number 5.
I'm going to vote for number 2 as well.
I don't want to feel left out. So anyway, we have we will go. How about we'll let Brian do his review first, and then we'll have one more. And remember, you can vote while Brian is talking.
Indeed.
Okay. Although you will want to listen to every word this man has to say, because every word will be fascinating. I'm certain. Well, let's see if he can get all the words out before he has to go to the bathroom again. And let's see if also votes. I go with 4. There we go. And JD Smith, digital artist, says, Joe, why are you still trying to pass a war on Earth on us? I thought you guys already covered DC in the first 20 minutes of the stream. Nope.
Ka-slam.
We have not even begun to talk DC yet. So anyway, and Sarah says, I have several of the Lady Mechanica TBVs. No dissing it. I don't think we're going to get that from Joe tonight. But anyway, let's start with Brian Rodman. Brian, what do you have for us? And this is going to be a bit of a surprise because we got a little clue about it.
Surprise! It's a Hellboy book.
What?
I know, right? This
Say it ain't so.
I know it's but there is a little bit of a surprise that goes with this. This is the Silver Lantern Club, which I reviewed issue 1 of this series, of this miniseries, a few weeks ago, and this is issue 4 of that. And this has just been an ongoing just short story deal. It's a lot of fun. The Professor Broom and Hellboy have gone to a pub to meet with Professor Broom's uncle, and he's just been telling them stories about the days that he used to spend with the Silver Lantern Club, which consists of Sir Edward Grey, the Witchfinder, and a few other really cool demon hunters and monster hunters. And to start us off, the story is by Mike Mignola and Chris Robertson. Pages 1 and 20 are drawn by Ben Stenbeck. Pages 2 through 19 are done by Christopher Mitten. Colors are Michelle Matson. Letters are Clem Robbins. The cover is Mike Mignola and Christopher Mitten with Dave Stewart on colors. So we start off, it's been kind of funny. Issues 1 through 3, Professor Broom has been trying to get out of this conversation for 3 issues now. And every time he brings something up, his uncle's like, but wait, buy me another beer and I'll tell you more. And of course, Hellboy is eating this up. He loves all these stories. He loves the frustration that Professor Broom is feeling. And it's good fun. However, this story takes the good fun a little bit too far. We start off the story going back in time again once more, and Professor Broom's uncle is chatting with Sir Edward Grey. Ooh, there we go. And they're talking about just like a case that Edward Grey's been on, and a friend of Edward storms in, and he's this Russian werewolf hunter, and seems like a very interesting character. We get a couple brief moments where he's referencing past monsters that he's fought. This I thought was a really cool panel in the book, just him fighting a werewolf, and the anticipation begins to build pretty early on. As they break into a hardware store to steal some supplies for the hunt. And the whole time, Professor Broom's uncle is going, what are we doing? Like we're just kind of following this guy around, and Edward Gray he's like, hey, he's my friend, it's fine. So they go to like 4 different pubs while they're still breaking into other different hardware stores. This is the story so far, and that's like most of the story is the same thing repeating over and over and over again. And I think they tried really hard to be funny, and it just really wasn't. And I gotta say, I'll spoil it because I don't recommend you read this unless you're just like a hardcore Hellboy fan. The werewolf that they run into is an interesting take on the werewolf. It's essentially, there's like a magic belt that if you put it on at the full moon, you turn into a werewolf. And so if you remove the belt though, under the full moon, the werewolf turns back into a human. And it turns out that's all they have to do. They trap the werewolves in a net, and the Russian guy is only after one of the werewolves. He removes the belt, the guy turns into a human. They put the other werewolf in the lions, in the wolf, exhibit at the zoo, and he wakes up naked, kind of an homage to American Werewolf in London. And that's the end of the story. It's not very good. It's not well written. It's kind of boring. The artwork is good. The artwork's the only reason that I like it. And
Shred that stuff.
I gotta throw this thing. And I'm sorry, Luna. I just threw it on top of Luna. I'm sorry, baby. She's all like, "What did you just do? How dare you? No,
how dare you fling your excrement upon me?"
Right? No.
And it has wolves. It has canines. That's not right.
Yes, this is not for me. Here, I'll move this for you, baby. I'm sorry. I threw it right where she was laying. I didn't even know she was there. So, I gotta say, as much as I love Hellboy, and as much as I love, I even love the other issues in the series. Like issues 1 through 3, they're all self-contained stories, so you don't have to read this one to enjoy the others. Thank God. And there's no real payoff at the end of this at all. It's literally just kind of like a throwaway. I feel like Mike Mignola was just like, right. I feel like Mike Mignola was just like, this would be a fun idea, and threw it to somebody else, and they, I don't know, made their first comic. I'm not entirely sure what they were trying to accomplish here. I did not enjoy it, which is extremely rare with a Hellboy book. I know, Eric, you also did not like a Mike Mignola book that you reviewed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that last book, I don't remember the name of it. It just wasn't... there was so many pages that didn't even have dialogue, and he wrote it. Yeah. And you had mentioned earlier in the week that, he just doesn't like to write when it was obvious, and it just wasn't... Yeah. It wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. I don't know if maybe he's lost a step, doesn't care anymore. He's just rolling around in his cash and happy, or what?
I mean, if I were him, that's what I'd be doing. But like, I gotta say, I don't know if he's starting to just phone some stuff in. I will say recently, the stuff that I have read from Mike Mignola, the one where he came back, the one I reviewed a couple months ago, where he came back and did the artwork and everything for, was great. That was a fantastic book. This is the exact opposite. So I give this one a 3 out of 10. Wow. The artwork is the only good thing in it. Honestly, it's not very good, and that it saddens me to say it. But yeah, Mike Mignola, if you're watching this, I love you, and this is not my review for the rest of your stuff because it's amazing.
Stop being lazy, you bum.
Suck up. Anyway,
yes. There are very few people that I will suck up to. He is one of them.
I understand that. And that's a shame because Chris Roberson, who did the scripting, apparently, I like his work a lot. Yeah. In fact, he was writing Superman just before the New 52, and it was some of the best stuff I had read in that comic in years.
I gotta say, it's not even so much the writing that gets it, that makes it bad. It's not an interesting story at all. Mm-hmm. It seems very flat, very boring. It seems like it feels like this team just kind of phoned it in and needed a filler issue. and I think that might be what's going on here because the other 3 are amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and the other 3 are 8 or up on the scale. This
Yeah.
is not. This is not
Cards-
very good.
Cards on the table too. Dark Horse, you can't really afford to have throwaway issues like this, Dark Horse, because you're not putting out a whole lot of stuff right now.
Yeah,
That's true.
Especially stuff that isn't Mike Mignola universe.
right. That's their
That's a
bread
good-
and butter.
That's-
Now, I
that's
mean,
a
I
good
will
point.
say this: reading this, if you're a Mike Mignola fan, if you're a Hellboy fan, my goodness, please don't let this be the first thing you read. But like, this isn't going to turn you off from anything else. Like, I'm not going to stop buying this very miniseries. I'll buy issue 5 because the first 3 were good. I just think that, hey, man, every now and then you just have one that falls flat, and unfortunately, that one did, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd be interested next month when the next issue comes out, Ryan, to see if, now this is something that occurred to me years ago when I was reading Iron Man, to see if you could read, if this is issue 4, if you could read issue 3 and 5 and not notice one missing.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because years ago when Warren Ellis, of all people, one of my favorite writers, was doing Iron Man when they brought in the Extremis armor for the first time.
Yeah.
And I remember, in fact, I think it was issue 4 in that sequence where 1, 2, and 3 were showing, developing the plot nicely. And then I read 4 and I'm like, it seems to have like worked itself back. Yeah, stalled.
Yeah.
Like it worked the ending worked itself back to the same point as the beginning. And then when I read 5 and 6, I realized that I could have read 1 through 3, then 5 and 6, and I didn't need issue 4 at all.
It's interesting that you say that because this is the only one out of the series so far where they don't mention the overarching theme that has brought Professor Broom to this pub to meet his uncle. So they didn't even mention that. Like they at least spend at least 2 or 3 pages in the other ones. And at the end of it, Professor Broom's like, but I need to know about this thing. And then his uncle changes the subject, which is making his uncle seem very suspicious. They didn't touch that in this issue. So I wonder if something like that might be going on. You might be onto something there.
And given that, then I wonder if maybe it was originally planned as a 5-issue series. I'm
Maybe
assuming it's 6.
I don't know. It actually doesn't say. It doesn't say 4 of, whatever. It's just issue 4. So I'm not entirely sure where this is going.
Well, even if, most trade paperbacks are 6 issues on the average.
Right.
What if they planned this originally for, say, 5 issues? Because they don't
And they
always
needed
announce
it to
when a
be
series
6.
is going to end. And then maybe Dark Horse said, hey, I want one more issue.
Yeah.
And so,
that might have been the case.
Together. Yeah, I'm trying to save their butts here. So,
Mignola,
Mr. Mignola?
Hey, man, they don't need anybody to save their butts. Their team is fantastic. This is just not a good representation of their work.
Yeah,
so,
everybody has an off month.
Absolutely.
So anyway, very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And let's see, we do have some comments. We mentioned about taking the fun too far, and Carl Wisman says, taking fun too far, who would do that? And we have the one, the only, the inimitable Mr. Frog G. Hail to you, my friend. Just hopping by to remind everyone to tickle the algorithm, smash the like, and dingle the bells, and subscribe. So thank you, Frog G. Always appreciate you, man. You are the best. And Cindy Kemp is very perceptive. She goes, so... not your fave.
No, surprisingly not. Unfortunately, I was very much looking forward to this issue, and it kind of bombed. But
that's a shame. That's a shame. And Donna says hello to Frog, and you hit Luna.
I know. I'm sorry. She's fine. She's back in the same spot. She's okay.
Yeah, she's saying, try it again, human.
Oh,
I will
trust
snuff
me.
you
Trust
like
me, guys. She had it coming. I promise. I promise she had it coming.
I'm sure.
So,
and of course, Donna has shown where her loyalties are.
Oh, Donna is clearly on Luna's side every time.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine with me.
And Donna called the ASPCA. And Donna says, bad daddy, bad daddy. Oh, I hear that all the time.
Oh,
anyway, Donna says Callie's already got them on speed dial. Once a week, they come into my room, yes, my room, and they talk about their damn funny books. And Ryan Permison, who was on the show last night, said, "I want BKM and Clyde to teach comic book history courses after last night's show." We did pontificate, did we not, Clyde?
We did. We did.
We did. We know our stuff. And Ted Davies Artistry from the midst of his travels. Good evening, superheroes. Happy St. Patty's. Happy one to you. And I realize I am wearing something green aside from my complexion. And Donna says hello to Ted, and as does Carl. And Cindy Cap says, "Bus stop, a tale that starts and stops without accomplishing anything along the way."
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect, Cindy. Very perfect. And Duck Cat. Oh, now you tell her. Anyway, Thank you for that timely warning. And my honey is retiring. Night, honey. Mwah.
Night,
Cookie.
Good night,
Night.
Cookie. Everyone says.
Night, Cookie.
Night.
Have fun, guys.
We will.
Brian says we will.
Uh-oh.
And yes, they heard you.
She knows what that means.
Yeah. 30 and a half years. She ought to by now. But anyway, thank you again, Brian, for your review. And I guess let's go to Joe D. McFee. Oh, wait. This is your last chance.
We actually can't just ask of yet because we're sitting on a tie and we got at least 6 people who have not voted yet if they're still with us here.
If they're still here.
If it's like I need to know what JD, Ryan, Travis if he's still here, Glenn if he's still here, Frog G, and Ted. I need them to vote before we can know exactly which book.
Oh,
Now,
Ted, say 2.
Say 5.
I'm going to go over one more time. Number 1 is the She-Hulk number 2. Number 2 is Captain Carter number 1. Number 3 is Lady Mechanica and the Monster Ministry of Hell number 3. Number 4 is Daisy number 4. And number 5 is War for Earth 3 number 1.
Okay. It does take time for the satellites to get
I
in
can
alignment.
go ahead and go in the meantime, and we'll wait for the numbers to catch up.
Okay, here we go. Oh, Cindy Cap has a comment here. May the sun shines warmly on your face. May the road rise up to meet you. May the rain fall gently on your fields, and may God hold you in the palm of your hand until we meet again. Happy St. Patty's Day. Thank you, Cindy. Mwah.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Everybody's Irish.
Yeah, seriously, sláinte, everyone.
I forgot my
Sláinte.
green.
There we
Oh,
go.
wait, hold on.
And before you start, Eric, if nobody votes, I do invoke my veto power over this.
So you're going to do
So
Daisy.
it's pretty much whatever I decide to do it. So if you really want to hear about one of these books, please vote now.
Okay. Now you say that maybe this will make it easier. You say that 2 of the books are in the lead.
Yes, they're tied. 2 books are tied.
Okay.
2 and 4.
Only Eric would figure that one out. Yes.
Yes. Now, is there if one person were to vote for 1, 3, or 5, would that put them in a tie with the current one, with the leaders?
If people voted for 1, yes.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. J.D. Smith, the digital artist, says, Joe, I'm kind of curious why the Daisy comic has an angry social science student on the cover. Well, there you go.
Okay, so that's a vote for 4.
Okay.
So that puts him. So it's like if Ryan's still here, Travis, Glenn, Frog G, and Ted. That's the people that we're waiting for. So if they don't vote by the time that Eric finishes, then we might have a clear winner at that point. Actually, technically, we have a front runner.
We'll have a clear winner when I finish.
That's right. That's right. And if nothing else, maybe I'll throw my vote. How's that? But we'll make it official. We'll do Eric, then Joe. We'll come back with the winner of the poll. Okay, does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So, Eric, are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
All right, let's do this thing, Eric.
So this is basically going to be 3 half-ass reviews.
All right.
Yes.
So
it's a button and a half.
Yeah, button and a half. So and
we're back on that again.
I will say this first one is on me. I should have paid attention. It's my fault. I don't know what's going on in this book. It says it's Stillwater the Escape #1 by Image. And unfortunately, 2 of these are Image books. I'm really disappointed in Image this week. So apparently there is a series, Stillwater, This is not just a first issue. This is kind of a something else.
Yeah.
But this is, and it's strange. There's 3 stories in it by 3 different teams, and they're all mixed together. They're not like this team, this team, this team. But it's kind of my fault. I did not know there was a series because it says coming next, issue 13. I'm like, huh? That makes no sense. Okay, so really, I was so distracted how boring it was, I didn't even finish it. And all I really got aggravated about was the art. Because the best artist in this book, if you see this young child right here.
Okay.
And you'll see him on the next page. Here. Oh, here. And here.
Oh, boy.
Man, that's a lot.
And, well, there's a lot more like that from that artist. But he's the best artist in the book. He did a total of 48 panels, and 10 of those panels were copied. And it just, I don't know, that bugged me. Because they're not difficult poses. I mean, it's not an action pose or anything. It's pretty simple, straightforward face. I'm not going to throw it, though. I'm going to try to read it. It just, I got so bored trying to get through the beginning of it, I couldn't. Now, the next image book.
A feeling of dread builds.
Yes.
Slumber number 1.
Slumber number 1.
I
like
thought,
that.
hey, the cover looks cool. Let me check this out. And this one, I just, oh, God. Okay. The art took me out of this one as well. Because I'm an art snob. Let's be honest here.
Don't fold it up. You know you want to.
Yeah. Okay. So this panel right here, the lady looks like she's sticking her hand in her butt instead of her pocket.
Hey man, whatever works.
And the art's just, it's not good. I mean, I don't know. It's strange, but it's also not really good. And I did not like it, and I couldn't get into this one either. And that I will not be able to get into that one, no matter how hard I try.
Yeah, it didn't
That
even
was
look like
getting
it. I couldn't even. There we go. I couldn't even see a flow in the art.
There is no flow. It's all over the place. The colors are all over the place.
Oh man,
nothing looks the same. I mean, you got people. It just doesn't look good. Now the other book I bought was by Boom Studios. Well, this is going to just be a quick recap and tell you to go buy it. Regarding the matters of Oswald's body. This is the last issue number 5.
Oh yeah,
nice.
So this book's been really good the entire time. I know Clyde has gotten the series too, and he's liked it. Correct, Clyde? Well, Clyde left. He said, "Poop on you guys." But anyway, so
I think Clyde froze up. Actually,
the spook gathers this team of misfits to find a look-alike for Lee Harvey Oswald and to kill him and shoot him a specific spot so it matches where Lee Harvey Oswald gets killed. They do that. Then they have to take the body to where, the jail where Lee got shot and switch the bodies. Comes to find out Oswald's not dead. It was a fake shooting with all that stuff going on. And then the next issue kind of took a twist, which I did not see coming. I didn't mind it. It was a good twist. But then it followed up in this one, and the book kind of ends like how you think it would, for the most part. These misfits are hired by, this government spook. They know they're in trouble with the government spook, so he's coming to hunt them down. And so they're going to go to Mexico, but they decide to stop in Texas, and they're going to. Oh, what did I hit? Oh, my mouse rolled around on me. Hold it. Go away there. So they are going to fight their way out of this. So a Yellow Rose calls the FBI, and they're going to come because they kind of believe what's going on. And then they call the main guy that hired them, and he's really mad at them. So he tells them where they're at and to come get him. He goes, "Let me tell you where we are." He says, "Sure. Just let me get a pen and paper, honey." And they all show up. And funny, when the FBI shows up, guess what? They're with the other guy too. So they're all shooting at each other. And unfortunately, what you kind of expect is going to happen happened. And that's how I'm going to leave it. I mean, the series as a whole was really good, but it does leave off Like they might do a sequel series.
Yeah.
Because a couple of characters make it out, and they show them on the last page. Well, overall, with it being about Oswald and the JFK assassination, I found it really interesting. And this, it was better than the Image books I bought, that's for sure. But this one was by Boom Studios. I'd recommend you go take a look at it. And if it comes out with a trade paperback, just go pick that up. It's been a good story all the way through. And there's been little tidbits and stuff in the back and front with little like newspaper clippings and stuff. And there was autopsy files in one of them. It's been a pretty cool book. I've liked it, and I'm giving the series a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
It
And I
does
won't throw this because I like this one. I really do.
That's great. That's great. Well, you've made it sound really good, and I'm into conspiracy theories anyway. And I was thinking right after you reviewed, I think it was issue 2 or so. I'm in it for the trade. I'm definitely in it for the trade. And who knows what?
Clyde, did you read the new one yet?
Yeah. I wasn't too surprised at they were trying to do a twisty thing with the identity of who was relating this tale. I wasn't too surprised about that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was very minor kerfuffle. Everything else, I really liked the all the character building that they did for it. The nuances about the assassination, the Lee Harvey Oswald centric issue. I love that. So yeah, I agree. We are together on that one. I disagree about Slumber Number 1. I did like it more, but I think one of the reasons is the artwork reminded me of the 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton.
Oh,
I kept checking to see if it was the same person.
I just couldn't get into it. I tried. I came back to it. I tried again. I was like,
yeah. But actually, the book I'm reviewing this week's an Image book that I also was kind of surprised that I liked it as well as I did. But yeah, the Oswald book definitely it deserves a TP look when that comes out. It should be coming out shortly too. They don't.
I think it was a lot better than I ever anticipated it being.
Yep.
I thought it'd be okay, but I thought it was really good overall.
Yep.
Very cool. Excellent, guys. Thank you very much. And Brian, is that your new nebulizer you're chewing on there? Or?
Oh, it's my pen.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. And,
yes, I have a little like cigarette one. That'd be awesome.
That would be way too cool.
Yeah,
and
and
Carl
I have my dangly green ornament on my beard now.
Oh, he's got his dangly out for everyone to look at. That's great. I thought the judge warned you about that. Anyway, Carl,
screw the judge. I'm a free man. Let's do this.
Yeah, for the moment. Anyway, Carl Wisman says tonight the Bud Edition. That would be a great reward level for the Zombiful World of Oz number 4.
No.
Okay, anyway, that was worth a try. Anyway, so
nope.
Vetoed.
Yeah, this is why he won't let me be his marketing manager. So just stick to editing, boy. Right? Anyway, with that, we have gotten no more votes.
No, actually, we got one. So the tie has been broken. The tie has been broken. We can close off voting.
Well, okay, the polls are closed right now, just like it's.
Now remember, Joe's in Illinois, so there's no telling how these votes ended up afterwards.
I'm not invoking veto power.
Right.
The crowd has spoken. We got a clear winner.
Well, why don't you tell us what that winner is and review it for us, Joe?
Okay. Tonight's selection, based upon the last vote that came in through JD, would be Daisy number 4. Now, if you've been watching Comic Book Spectrum, you know that myself and Eric have done issues of the series. Eric did issue number 1. I believe I did issue 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't watched those, watched those reviews, go back. If you're on the replay, go back and watch it now. Pause this, go back and watch it now. We'll be here. We'll wait. We'll just be like this. But for those who are alive, if you give them a couple of seconds,
Donna
it
approves.
could be paused right about now. We'll go into issue number 4. For those, just to give you a quick little catch up here, issue number 3 ended up with the main character, and I already forgot her name already.
The mom.
Lindsay, Lindsay and Daisy, had this conversation, and she finally showed them all the children that was there that was supposed to be up under the father's care. And she did this one little, if I could say, ritual. And in that ritual, they all disappeared and just left her with all of this so-called power that she doesn't know, or at least we think it's power. So issue number 4 starts out pretty much showing you, after it was all said and done, there's really no movement in the town. Everybody is either A, dead, or have disappeared. So now we have Lindsay coming back to said town with a shotgun looking for answers after everything was said and done. So Lindsay eventually comes back to the house where father is at, and it turns out father is still alive.
Ooh.
And then that's when father started to tell her the truth about Daisy, or what he believes is the truth about Daisy, because all coming back to all the stuff that has been pre-written in the Book of Enoch. So while we're up here thinking that Daisy is a Nephilim, I mean, pretty much he gives us like the story about what happened and why she was there and everything that had happened, which goes back to issue number 1 about the myth and the legend about, the so-called giants and the people that were already there and the choice that she made. Seeing everything for herself. Actually, I think that spread pretty much says exactly what she was up against, trying to get the glare out of it, where you can see the full thing without the glare.
Nice.
She's there. It's like the Holy Sword is there for her to kind of slay them down, and she pretty much couldn't do it. She felt bad for them, which leads to everything that leads up to the legend that had happened. However, the news that father tells her is that she wasn't a Nephilim that was created here. She was the angel. She actually was descended from the creator itself, or what they were saying, God. So she was an angel. And that pretty much everything that was happening, he allowed to happen, taking a bit of the power that Daisy left for her. And you see that father starts to heal. And it turns out she dropped, and I'm not going to tell you the bomb that he drops on her. I'm going to leave that out. But he heals himself up, and it turns out that with him foreseeing everything, with everything that's about to happen, Lindsay finds out the ultimate truth about what is going on. And the final battle is about to get ready to happen again. Well, I'll give you one nugget. I'll give you one of the bombs that was dropped here. The bomb that was dropped at this point was the fact that Father told her that Daisy was the conduit between Earth and heaven. That her blood is the conduit. However, there's a little bit more to the story here, because that's when Daisy kind of reached out to her and told her something else.
Very cool.
However, we're about to get ready to know the ultimate truth starting in the next issue. So I've been telling other people, especially comic mongers and everything who knows about it, it's like, this is really the sleeper hit so far from Dark Horse. So yeah, this is worthwhile. Now, normally, I think all the other issues I was up here giving them an 8. This is actually a 9.
Oh,
This is actually a 9 because we finally get what is really happening. And now we're about to get, well, hopefully we get a good ending. And when I say a good ending, I'm not talking about all of the, the good guys win or anything. When I talk about a good ending, I talk about something that had meat to it that, makes you feel like you got a good, satisfying story and whatnot. So Daisy, number 4, 9 out of 10. And again, if you haven't been reading this, it's only a 5-issue miniseries. Next month is going to be issue number 5, so you still got time to get it. I know I just picked up another number 1 to send to CGC because, like I said, I believe that this is the sleeper hit of the year so far.
Wow, bold prediction there, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Joe. That was
Yep.
great. And that's another
Good
one.
book.
Mm-hmm. Again, when do Eric and I agree on something? Very rare. Very rare. So yeah,
I checked the Book of Revelations. I believe it is mentioned in there. Yeah.
It's seal number 12.
Oh, and JD Smith, the digital artist, says book looks pretty groovy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for the trade on that. That's excellent. And good choice, people. Good choice. All right. And thank you very much, Joe.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Well, I guess
Comic Book Phone will be back next week.
There we go. Please remind me. I apologize for stomping on that. But if you're watching on the rerun, you can still vote anyway. It just won't do any good. But anyway, so you can vote on next week's. So anyway, I guess it's my turn now before we lead up to, of course, to Clyde, of course. Save the absolute best for last. So I checked with the editor and he said I could. Anyway, no, we've got a variety of publications. Didn't do badly this week. 5 things came in. Plus I scored a hardcover edition. If there's a dust jacket, I didn't get it. That's a big deal. The Pact by Will Eisner, which I believe was his last graphic novel, which is an examination of the history of the protocols of the elders of the Elders of Zion, a notorious piece of bigoted literature that has hounded the Jews for centuries. And Will Eisner, of course, it is marvelous, which goes without saying. It's Will Eisner. First of all, we're going to talk about the 4th issue of Shudder.
yes.
But and how wrong can you go when you start out with a Frank Frazetta cover, right? And the first story in here by our buddy Lou Motion and Manster Damon is built around that cover. When's the last time, DC used to do that a lot. They'd come up with cover ideas and then write stories around them. That's how Cary Bates broke into the industry. He used to send cover ideas. And then, of course, we've got regulars like Don Glut, who was a writer for the original Warren magazines. Again, short stories, punchy, hard-hitting, lovely art. Lovely art. And just going from strength to strength in the art department and the stories. The stories are solid. There's a second Lou Motion story in there. This one drawn by Nick Polico. I'm sorry if I've mispronounced that. And this is just goodness from first to last. And of course, this is, as far as I'm concerned, I love horror. This is great horror. It lives up to the legacy of the Warren magazines. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. It is that good. Definitely worth your $5.95 for about 7 or so stories. Next one I want to recommend is another magazine, Retro Fan Magazine, put out by Tomorrow's Publishing. And this is a let's see, I think it comes out 8 times a year now. Bi-monthly, excuse me, or 6 times a year. And it basically, it's a nostalgia magazine. For instance, they review the history of the Ghostbusters. And I'm not talking about, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. I'm talking about Spencer Tracy and Kong from Saturday Morning and how that influenced the movie franchise. Also, the wacky packages, the Bob Kane created, yeah, I'm so sure, Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse cartoons. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Shame on me, Brian. Slap my face. Anyway, a history of Watergate. The Mac Daddy of all government crises. And somebody I had the most, I don't know why I put that in the past tense, I still do. Caroline Monroe. Her mother was an actress named Janet Monroe, who was in The Day the Earth Stood Still and several other classic films. And Carolyn was a pinup girl model, used to be a spokesperson for the Noxema Corporation. And she's appeared in things like The New Avengers. She's a Bond girl. And also in The Golden Voyage of Sinbad with John Philip Law, where Tom Baker also starred. And that's what landed him the role of Doctor Who. Beautiful short interview with her. And, of course, she's also worked with Doug McClure, Peter Cushing, and some Edgar Rice Burroughs, done some Hammer, worked with Vincent Price and the Dr. Phibes twofer. And also was the lady, I should say, in Goody Two Shoes, the video by Adam Ant. Okay. Also, some beautiful behind-the-scenes pictures from movies like The Little Frankenstein, Kiss of the Vampire, The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, 1 Million Years BC, and other wonderful things, including one that's really dear to my heart for a couple of reasons. There's a lot more articles in here, but there is an examination of the Red Skelton Museum in Vincennes, Indiana, where Red is from, and the co-manager of it has a 3-page article with numerous pictures about the great comedian Red Skelton. This magazine is a joy to read, and there's regular stuff in here by Scott Savada, Scott Shaw, Will Murray, other people. A whole lot of great stuff in here. This is a 10 out of 10. This seriously is. Every issue is, you're going to learn a lot from this one. Ryan Permisson, I definitely urge you to go get this. And not only is it available at your local comic stores, but Barnes & Noble and Books A Million also carry this on their shelves as well. So check it out. It's worth your time and money, believe me. Next up is Blue and Gold, number 7, the next to last issue. This one is packed. Phil Hester shares the art Phil Hester and Eric Gatsper and shares the artwork duties with Paul Pelletier and Norm Rappaman. Dan Jurgens wrote the story as usual. And as you see, there's a new Blue Beetle in town, Jamie Rees. Maybe is he going to take over for Ted Kord? As you remember, he got captured at the end of last issue, Jamie Rees did. But this is an action-packed story. We are presented with the guy who's been behind a lot of the stuff that's happened to Booster and Ted, with some twists and turns. Great last page reveal of the big bad from this series. This book just zips along, well-written, funny in the right places, exciting in all of it. It's a 10 out of 10 too. I'm serious. If you haven't picked that up yet, then definitely get the trade on it. You'll be worth your time. Then 2 more. Of course, I make no bones about the fact I love this book. It is fun. It is exciting. It is well written. Again, it's got humor. And we learn more about the powers that Impossible Jones has over her body and her clothing. And we meet some new characters, such as Homewrecker. who is evidently got some history with Impossible Jones. And there is a fight in here with the one, the only, Even Steven. His power is to match the power of his opponent. And also we have a big ass fight scene in the middle of the ring with a logo in it. It's really good. See? Look at that clean art. Inked by writer Carl Kessel, printed by David, or penciled by David Hahn. And here's Even Steven. As you see, the black and white character there, he matches the strength and speed and invulnerability of his opponent. He can only fight on equal terms. That's why he's Even Steven. Now, the thing is, the art is beautiful. It comes to a decent resolution. And unfortunately, that's it. It reads like the end of a series. But I do know that a second series has been on Kickstarter, which I have pledged for, which I hope that Scout Comics will pick up so that everyone can read this. If you get a chance, get all 4 issues. This is an 11 out of 10. I've gotten so much fun out of reading this over and over and over. The art's great. It moves fast. A lot of super stuff in there. But the big thing this week is a new premiere from DC Comics. Now you're thinking to yourself, damn it, Brian, we're sick of your reviews on DC Comics. We're sick of Superman reviews. And we're really tired of hearing about Batman. So I'm reviewing Batman Superman, World's Finest #1. Screw y'all. Okay, let's double down. But this is worth getting. It is written by Mark Waid. All right. Who has been wanting to, I think he's wanted to write Superman in vitro, I think. He's got a total love for the character. This takes place, it starts out with a flashback. And as you can see from the Bat logo there, we're talking Tim Drake days. And you can tell from Robin's outfit there. As they start out battling not just Poison Ivy, but Metallo, the man with the kryptonite heart, who, after a little fight, has a little injection there. Now, Metallo says, I'm not going to spare any green kryptonite because I need it to live. I'm giving you red kryptonite, and we're injecting it into your veins. Not only that, but each isotope of it has a different effect that lasts on Superman. He's hit with a blend of it. And and of course, ouch, says the Man of Steel. And then it comes up to a real early days flashback. Again, you can tell from the circleless logo. Great dialogue, great stuff. Appearance by the Penguin. Then back to the present where Superman's having a really, really bad day. All right. And of course, the flashback was with Dick Grayson. But now we get an appearance by the Doom Patrol. All right, if you're a fan of the TV series. And then there's some good stuff at the end. Now, here's what I want to impress upon you. There is a credits page on the inside front. I'm going to go through this book, and I'm going to show you all the advertising. Here's the sum total of the advertising. The rest is story and art for only $3.99. First issue, guest stars galore, teasers for the big bads in this one. This is another, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because having that much story and art in a book, I was going to give it a 9.5 because I did enjoy Impossible Jones more, but it's good to see Mark Waid finally writing Superman on a regular basis. I hope this is an ongoing series. I really do. He does a great job on Batman and the 2 Robins. This is definitely worth picking up. There's a lot of art in here. Who's Dan Mora does a wonderful job on the cover and the art. Definitely give this a shot. It's worth your time. Like I said, if nothing else, it's a great bargain for $3.99. And those are my reviews of this week. So
no advertisement in a Batman book.
Yeah. And the only
fathom the thought. No advertisement really in a Batman book, but yet anything else.
Yeah.
Advertise it for.
Yeah, and of course, they do have a thing for this little fan film that they made, and which I understand is really good. And then, of course, one for Superman, Superman Lois, the TV series. He doesn't look like Dean
Now,
Cain.
which
Anyway,
generation of Doom Patrol did they have in that book? Because I saw Rita, but I didn't see who else they had.
Robot Man and Negative Man.
So it's the first generation.
It's the first generation. Now, the thing is, John Byrne did bring back the original iteration at one point, post Vertigo, because I don't know if you'll be able to see it clearly, but Negative Man has the more stylized glasses than he did back in the 60s, and Rita being mindful that they don't want everybody looking up her dress, is wearing shorts in this one that mimic her later Doom Patrol outfit. But yeah, this solid entertainment in that book there. And so yeah, those are my reviews this week.
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you. And JD Smith of Digital Arts book looks pretty groovy. It is. It really is. And Caroline Monroe from the Italian movie Zombie. Yes, that's the very one. Also, The Adventures of Stella Star. It's a really, really wonderful issue there. And okay, we need that retro fan. Carl, I think you and Donna ought to just every other month go over and get a copy of that, because I think there's something every issue you guys will enjoy in there. I usually find 4 or 5 articles that are really must reads. And 2 years ago, I was in there too. So hunt down issue 8. Anyway. So that is my review for the night, and thank you all. And now we come to the man everyone has been waiting for. The fanfare begins. It is the one, the only, Mr. Clyde Hall. Clyde, what do you have for us this week, sir?
Hello. Well, I have one that when I showed the cover, some of the artists in-house were like, "Woo, we like that cover." So it is called Rogue Sons.
That's lovely.
It is very nice. Cover. Yeah. They did a Kirby, kind of a Kirby-centric version, but this is really nice. I like this one too. So I'll show you a bit of the artwork. I found out, I didn't know this when I first read it. It is part of an ongoing universe that Image is building. Did not know that at the time, but we start off with a battle right in the middle of New Orleans, just boom, right from the start. We have a lot of sound effects words there.
Ooh.
Look at that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm aroused.
So I thought of Eric when I saw that. I thought he will like this. And but it's New Orleans, so we also have moldering manses and swamps. And there's a transformation scene that I really like, both for the fonts that it uses, but also the glimpses at some of the characters that this hero has encountered before.
Oh,
they're very creepy looking, but I love that. It's the only big double page splash, but it was impressive to me. We have the undead. We have a raven and a lady that looks like maybe a prognosticator there. A lot of detail in that. I've parsed over it. We have what looks like a shapeshifter perhaps in one part. And then we get at the end of it, we have a look at the pencils, and we have some scripting, show what went into the making of it.
Oh, nice.
But it's very packed. It's packed with a lot of action, a lot of story, mostly the story. It goes in places that I did not expect. And Rogue Sun #1 is an Image comic. It's $3.99. It is written by Ryan Parrott. The art is by Abel. Colors are by Chris O'Halloran. The letters are by Becky Carey. It is rated Teen Plus. While I write for various sites, this is my own independent feature. It should not be considered representing any views of those sites. When you look at comic book archetypes, you have bricks and text, and cosmic characters and street knights and psionics and mystics, aliens, mythic, the results of inadvisable science, legacy characters. The superhero genre has archetypes that we've grown comfortable with. And the lines are even more defined because we have analog titles reinforcing the existing ones. Like if you watch a show or you see a analog type series like Black Hammer, you go, oh, well, this is their version of fill in the blank. And there can be some blurring, but overall, categorizing comes easily to us if we read comic books a lot. When a super defies quick classification, it feels fresh. And Rogue Sun, in this new ongoing title from Image, has that distinction. While they promote him as a supernatural hero, he is connected to a greater cosmic universe under construction there. From that mixture comes an appealing breakaway from the normal mystical comic genre. Plus a few additional spins on the typical superhero origin as well. In number one there, we meet Rogue Sun, established New Orleans-based champion as he faces an unknown opponent and makes his introductions. The city and its residents are under his protection. Damaging Jackson Square's a sure way of getting his attention and being captured. At least that's the foregone conclusion of this very self-assured and seasoned superhero. Despite that swagger and the posturing, this time Marcus Bell, the man under that fiery armor, is wrong. Enter Dylan Siegel, high school student and BPOC, big personality on campus. He's kind of a Flash Thompson throwback with quirky charms. Sure, he will stuff a kid that he's been browbeating into doing his homework in a locker, but he'll also promise to get him a prom date, whether the guy wants one or not. So his swagger and self-assured manner may be a defensive product of his upbringing. His father left home when Dylan was very young, divorced his mother, and later remarried. Now, word of his father's untimely death in a car crash doesn't ruffle Dylan very much because they weren't exactly close. But his presence is requested at the reading of his father's will, which is to be held at that manse, that moldering manse of his widow and two perpetual orphans, the half-brother and half-sister of Dylan. The late Marcus Bell makes monetary provision for his new family, and he stipulates that Dylan inherits something called a sunstone. To Marcus's lawyer and all relatives except for Dylan, this bequeathment is clear. He is to take on the mantle of the new Rogue Sun and continue his father's work as that armored vigilante. Dylan's mother explains his father's dual life, one of service and obligation. Dylan instead sees it as a chance to kind of like have a gravy train. When you're a big hero, you can wield power over others, and for retribution, because he says he can be a better superhero than his dad ever was. But soon he learns that he's also inherited things like seasoned villains in his father's rogues gallery. And he's not been given any provision for training or instruction, just this stone. And we see his first transformation into Rogue Sun there in that double splash page. The final battle is humorous, but also humbling. Scripter Ryan Parrott skillfully crafts the introduction of father-son issues left unresolved, and he nimbly dodges most earmarks of a purely supernatural superhero story. Creepy elements thread through the narrative. The New Orleans setting helps with that some, but he keeps the Rogue Sun orbiting the greater massive verse. And that's the term for the heroes and villains that are central to the Image title's Radiant Black series. I reviewed that a while back. In that one, a young hero is infused with power from a cosmic energy source, a very mysterious one, but it mimics attributes of a black hole. From there, other heroes and villains have emerged, most with a connection to that cosmic energy, but manifested in different ways. That initial book was interesting, with a strong and iconic superhero aesthetic. The story, though, felt, to me, fairly standard. Having it as a universal linchpin would have seemed unlikely to me at that time. If Parrott's work here, though, is any indicator, this is a sandbox, which deserves expansion and exploration. From the smartly wrought conflict between father and son, who seem to be too similar to get along, that swaggering and self-assuredness, I'm sure, rubbed each other the wrong way, To the cosmic threads woven into a background of supernatural knights in blazing solar armor, Parrott takes this series on unexpected detours along a superhero superhighway. The artwork of Abel helps visually balance normally conflicting elements within that tale. Like Rogue Sun can be most of the archetypes listed. If you just look at them, you're not really sure. But it's the creatures that Abel puts into the narrative. They reek of the supernatural, many of them do. And Abel leads them or lends them equal mystical weight in the rendering. The transformation scene in that impressive 2-page splash, to me, it casts its own spell. Chris O'Halloran loves colors that balance the precarious ether that Abel has established. The hero carries solar flames of a star, if that cosmic connection is literal, to do battle with the dark things vying for our souls. And yet the shadows spill across not only the scenes without Rogue Sun, but when he's present, the murk is only pushed back. It's held in check. It's contrasted. It's never overcome. And O'Halloran, with that coloration, gives weight to that ongoing battle that our protagonist wages and a balance that he strives for. Becca Carey's letters bring an impressive array of sound effect fonts, but her work juggling that weighty dialogue against art obscurement, especially in an introductory story like this where there's quite a bit of exposition, is excellent. She never lets things get bogged down, which would be very easy to do. Rogue Sun #1 is a surprising and satisfying expansion of a shared universe, far beyond where one might expect it to travel. For the launch of a new series, its narrative is an impressive exercise thinking outside the long box. In a masterful way, this title captures man's long-standing fascination with the heavens above and our fears of those unseen horrors lurking within raven folds of night in between. The tentacled things which only radiance from a Rogue Sun could hold back till dawn. So my score for Rogue Sun #1 is 8 out of 10.
Very cool. Very
Nice.
cool. Excellent.
I
I love that cover, and I love how they put like all the logo and everything on the lower part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really lets that upper part breathe.
Yeah. When I read Radiant Black, I was impressed with its look, but to me it seemed a pretty standard superhero's tale.
Mm-hmm.
But and all of the creators of this, they've done a lot of Mighty Morphin Power Ranger stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and this is their chance to make their own thing.
Yeah.
And if they have more like this, I didn't keep following Radiant Black, and then they have like Radiant Red and Radiant Yellow, and they have a whole bunch of other things that go along with it. But they do a nice image. They have a page that kind of gets you up to speed about all that so that you can appreciate this more. I may have to go back and get some of those others, and I definitely want to follow this one. This to me was very good.
That's awesome. That's great. Well, thank you very much, Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, as always. And we have no more comments from our audience. They are no doubt stunned.
No, they've left long before mine got there. So.
Oh gosh, no! I drove them out. No, they're probably waiting for more poop jokes. So anyway,
That's all I got. I'm empty now. Sorry.
Wow.
Go, buddy.
yeah, I was gonna say that now. Next thing you know, it's like,
Oh, we got another comment. We got a comment, and yes, we do. And this is worth posting here from Carl Witzman. Another good review,
Oh.
Clyde.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, and as always, folks, when you hear about these comics, and we mentioned some that, we just give reviews in brief, go to your local comic shop and check them out. Because that's
Or make sure you don't check them out.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
in case of at least one tonight, the one that almost murdered Luna, you may want to skip at least one of them, but you've heard about some pretty dandy ones so far, and definitely check with your local comic monger and see if they can get it if they don't have it on their shelves already. So that's something to think about. So anyway, guys, very good. And does anybody have anything they want to discuss right now? Anything on your minds?
I don't have anything really.
What are we doing tonight for our art, Eric?
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we are drawing, let me look it up here. It is Benji's Guide to Rintooky Island, which is a Kickstarter project. So we're going to have the creator on there, and you know what? I'll even put it on my screen real quick here, and we'll share my screen so you can take a look.
Okay, I'm ready.
Share. Share screen. Share screen again.
Keep
Share again. There we
sharing that
go.
screen.
Yay.
So this is Benji's guide to Rintooky Island. The creator's already raised almost 14 grand with 198 backers. He's got
Oops,
3
sorry.
days left to go.
Sorry, I hit the wrong one. My bad. Sorry.
Jeez.
Brad's like, oh
it-
yeah, look at me.
it's a cute looking little book. We have joked with him that it's full of furries.
Uh-oh.
Oh, look at that.
But they're cute little characters. So
Yeah.
we're going to draw these tonight. So,
Oh my.
ooh, Rin Spooky. Look at that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, Shambilly. I like that one. So I'm not sure which one I will draw tonight, but oh, that's cool. Everybody seems to like maps. You know, if you're doing a Kickstarter or anything like that, people like maps.
Really?
I've seen a lot of people just like to see maps in the book, you know, like in the interior cover pages or stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, $25 for the basic. Oh, that's a PDF. $50. Oh, no wonder he's raised so much. $50 for the physical copy. How many pages is this? Good grief. Maybe I should raise my prices on my Kickstarter. Pages.
Yeah, you got an editor to pay for.
Yeah. I might be self-editing this time.
See, that's
Let
the
that
problem
illiteracy
already.
shine through.
Oh,
Go for it.
man.
That's the problem already. I don't see anything about the page count.
I don't either.
Not so far.
You should put him on the
There's the
spot
shipping.
tonight and be like, how many pages do you have in your
I am
book?
going to have to ask because
Yeah.
Scroll back up. Scroll back up. Up.
Nothing.
I'm not seeing anything, no.
this is a 5e compatible source book, but
Oh, like for gaming and such, like D&D.
Right. That's the reason why it's that $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
not.
sense.
It's not like it's not a story. It's more of a guide.
Book.
well, here you go, $250. You get the physical copy, dice, island map. Oh,
Ah,
Dice, yeah.
well, that's
okay.
kind of cool. It's more than
Oh,
I
it
knew
is.
about it.
It looks
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, he's been coming on the show and drawing with us lately too. So
Oh, cool.
that's nice.
Has a good look to it.
Yeah.
Lots of
So,
detail.
I mean, it's really cutesy stuff,
Yeah.
which we've been doing a lot of lately.
I'd
We
love to
Until
see
my
your
book
take.
launches and we do, zombies and stuff.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I like the look of this. This looks really great. And I
I'll
can
have
see
to
what some
share-
games gets spiced up with this.
Yeah.
Up with this. So yeah.
I have enough game friends that go with the Kickstarters. I'll have to share this and see what they think. See
Yeah.
if they're on it.
I'll drop it in the private chat. I'll drop it in the regular
Cool,
chat.
thank you.
Oh, yes, our private chat.
Oh, I have to go
Yes.
back to the chat. I closed that window a long time ago.
That's okay. I've got it. I'll put it in there.
Here we go.
That's what
The
she
answer to that
said.
question, Cindy, is no. There is not a formula for that.
Now let's wait a minute. Let me get that up on the screen here. Okay, there we go. All right.
Cindy, that is a good question though, because I've launched 3 campaigns on my own. I have never got that.
Same
Yeah.
here. Same here. It's not a formula. It's a combination of things, and I got to the point where I even had words with Kickstarter about it.
Really?
And the quiet person in here is not mentioning anything who's had a Kickstarter and has gotten that isn't saying anything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, how'd
All
you get
I'm
it, Rodman?
saying- All I'm saying is,
You're not leaving the room till you tell.
all I'm saying is, they really like poop jokes. I'm just saying. No, we've done nothing. Like it's just it's random. I think I don't really think there's any kind of formula to it.
first
I
it
know
was.
that if you're on a number, if you're having a number one, an issue number one, they really look for those. I know that is a fact, but not every number one gets that.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, Grant's got it twice, hasn't he?
I've gotten it
think
almost every
so.
time, and
No,
I have
see, I've
no
never
clue
gotten
how.
it.
So
See,
Yeah.
that's kind of like the thing, because at first it wasn't random. It was actually somebody's going there, and it was opinion based, and that's the reason why I raised a big stink.
gotcha.
Now it's certain criteria, and
Mhm.
they've been kind of like keeping that up under their vest. So it's not like a set formula.
Gotcha.
Well, they have to, though, because the minute they reveal why something, how to work the system, somebody's going to try to game the system.
Right.
It's like on YouTube
Mhm.
or any other social platform. The minute we figure out what the answer is, they change the question. And I would suspect now, and I know that for a long time, for a couple of years, there wasn't a person officially in charge of this operation, this aspect of the Kickstarter operation. But I think about 4 or 5 months ago, there was a new person put in. Cindy kept follows that with interesting, could make a source book for Animal-Eye. Like, I need another project. Cindy, it's a good point though, really. I will reveal something. I was going to do my next novel, The Terrors, which my Patreon supporters can read. And I've been getting good marks on it, thank goodness.
It's great.
Thank
Go
you.
check it out.
Yeah, thank
It's
you,
awesome.
Brian. Thank you very much. And it's got a beautiful Jeffrey Hayes cover. Believe me, it's coming down the pike. But the thing was, I was going to do a Kickstarter for it for reasons, not all of which had to do with sales. And one of the things I planned to do was a source book for it. And of course, knowing how I am, there is no project I cannot complicate. And so instead of Bob Benton is the Black Terror, all of a sudden Bob Benton has about 35 years of history because of someone we know. And then we're like, well, if we do that, we got to do it for this character. Then we got to do it for this character. And Cindy knows because she's been in on some of this discussion too. So I'm not going to do a Kickstarter for the first Terrors book. However, I will make it available during the next phase or the phase after, whenever I get the source book done. So yeah, so Cindy, that would not hurt you. That would make a great giveaway.
Yep,
I think. And Animal-Eye didn't, but Animal-Eye is very family friendly. The pattern I've seen doesn't cover family friendly, and Cindy also is a fan of the Terrors too. Thank you, Cindy. That means a lot to me. It really does. But yeah, I know that for a while it was like, without getting into politics, more socially conscious stuff seemed to be getting that nod.
but see, mine isn't.
Yeah, yours just is totally insensitive, and
Right,
it is
mine-
religious. So
Yeah,
Mine doesn't swing anyway.
Yeah.
Zombies. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could look up YouTube videos and pose a question. You'll find all kinds of theories out there how it's done, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought last year I was going to get it. 37 minutes. I funded real quick, and I got backers every day throughout the entire campaign, and I still didn't get that. So
I was surprised that you didn't get it. I really was.
too. Seriously,
They don't like me.
I don't think I will ever get it, because again, I just know my audience and my product is very niche. I want to get a bigger audience, but it's just one of those things. It's like you have to bring your audience to Kickstarter more so than rely on what's already there.
I did think one thing. I wonder if it also has to do with how active you are on Kickstarter, like how many projects you back. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not proud of this fact because my pocketbook is also very sad, but I have backed over 200 campaigns in the last 6 years. And so that might have something to do with it. My name is Brian Rodman, and I have a problem. And
and Robin says that's damn right he does.
Hi, Brian.
But like, I mean, honestly, like that may have something to do with it. I'm active on Kickstarter quite a bit. So
I think you got me beat by quite a bit. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I got that. Once I got that super backer sticker, I was like, oh, this is sad.
Yeah,
hard-
you
it's not-
super backers hosed us on a Spencer Spook.
it's not hard to get the super backer, but
It's
I'm
true.
nowhere near backing that many. I think I barely got maybe like 40 to 60 projects.
Yeah, maybe they're for me. Maybe they're just like showing pity. They're like, this man has spent way too much money.
I'm at 69.
Let's try and help him a little bit.
Yeah. Eric, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
69. That's how many I've backed.
Nice.
Anyway, I am such an adolescent. And Cindy,
I have backed 95 projects.
I should look at what I've done. But anyway, Cindy Gap says,
I never got it.
I surprised the gaming company with how dense animal eye notes are. Yeah, but Brian Rodman, you bill it as Exorcist, a similar tale. Horror is a part of the pattern, she has noticed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will say that. I know to Jody's chagrin, it is horror does seem to have the focus there.
Well, now I'm curious about
But like Eric said, you're not going to ever be able to figure it out because there's going to be like 70 different people that are like, this is it. I figured it out. I have the secrets. And it's not.
Yeah, like Brian Polito just launched his campaign. He got it for Lady Death.
Yeah.
What else
I
is
think
on
he
here? We got these look like horror.
and
Cerebus got Project We Love.
Yeah, and I can't remember if Karen Nicole.
Again, those are known people with known projects that has big
that doesn't
fan
surprise
bases,
me.
and that brings people to their platform.
Yeah, has Karen Nicole had Joe? Do you know if Kara's had it?
Not. I haven't noticed on her last campaign.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so either. So, let's see. Mine is. I'm looking to see what. Oh,
Ted Sakura had gotten it on the last two of his.
yeah.
Grant got it on the last two, and Grant, we know is a brand new creator.
Right.
Yeah.
Daphne Lage got it for like the fourth time for her Eagle Raven series.
Yeah, and I'm. Let's see. I better mark that as I got it. So. I've got a whole bunch here I haven't gotten yet. Hey, people.
Fire Bitch 2 did get it, but I don't think her other projects did because, again, I think her other projects was on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Now, here's one that's got it. Glenn in Munsterland. The backer has only backed 19 projects, and this is their first project they ever created. They've only got.
Well, that's also a big thing.
47 backers. I mean, they had $1,200. I mean, they met their goal, but
yeah, I have heard that a lot of new backers are a target as well. Like if you have a good fan base that you bring on your own, and if you reach like my first campaign, like our people really showed up and it was very kind of them, and we reached our goal in like 30 minutes. And it like our goal was $5,000 and we reached it in 30 or no, sorry. Woohoo, that would have been crazy. It was $2,000 and we reached it in 30 minutes. And
Nice.
And I think that, we were brand new to Kickstarter and we brought a lot of people, we had a lot of backers, we reached our goal very quickly, and I think that's when Kickstarter took notice. So there might be some correlation there. I have no idea though.
Yeah. And Cindy comments, "Oh yeah, it's a perpetual moving target." That is true. And there's no, like I said, there's no rhyme and reason to it, which is in a way a good thing because there's always going to be people that play the system, and aren't really, in it to really create something really amazing, but to get that stick or get the little stroke that comes with having that little something. As like Eric mentioned, we had a super backer, and I think he was just there to get that little ribbon because he backed something like, what was it, Eric? Something like 360 projects.
Yeah, you back them, but once you back out, it doesn't take that away, or it didn't at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he pledged like it was $500, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's $500 to our campaign alone, and we were just one of the many, and then he backed out. We went from like 71%. What
is Carl still in here?
Carl, are you still here? He might.
Mad Gasser of Mattoon Part 3.
Oh, I saw that. I meant to bring that to Carl's attention.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to share that. Hold on.
Yeah, because
Doesn't look like Carl though, because his name is.
It is not Carl. It is not Carl.
John Rodriguez, unless that's Carl's pen name.
Unless Carl knows how to draw. But no, I think I know. I think I've met John Rodriguez online, and
I'll put it in our chat.
Yeah. Okay. Great. We'll share that out. And Carl says, "I am here," and Donna says, "What?" And now here's another good question from Cindy Cap. What's up with the $100 campaigns? I think I know. And yeah,
on
Carl,
Indiegogo, I can tell you what it is.
Okay.
On Indiegogo, the quicker you hit your funding goal, the better the algorithm for you. So that's why they put such a low. It might be the same way on Kickstarter. I mean, the quicker you can hit your goal, the more you'll show up in searches and stuff. I mean, on Indiegogo, I know for certain.
Well, I thought it might be part of the algorithm, but I also was thinking that it might be. Well, yeah, we hit our goal by 500%. So if you're asking for, say, like $50. And you get like a couple thousand, it's going to make your percentages look
if
amazing.
you don't mention the dollar amount, but you only mention percentages, it sounds so much more impressive.
Yeah, and I know there's like a cadre of people that do that constantly. They lowball the asking amount rather than going.
If you work with numbers, you can make them say whatever you want them to say.
Oh yeah,
man. That's why I don't really trust statistics in general.
Yeah, what is it? Figures lie and liars figure.
Right. I gotta say this: like, if you're launching a Kickstarter and you're really prepping for a campaign, don't worry about that kind of stuff. Like, worry about getting the word out, getting on shows, building a fan base, caring about your work and caring about your readers. And yes, there's a part of that goes into like you want to reach more people, but you know what will help you reach more people? Put more stuff out.
Yeah.
Be consistent. Put more things out, build a fan base that way. That is probably, and this is my story. Like, I know not everybody can say the same thing, but with Memoirs of an Angel, with the Nebulizer, we've just build and build and build. And that's great. We're very thankful for that. And I'm just putting out books that I love to make. And that's, but I mean, these things are legit questions, right? Like you see everybody like, I'm a Kickstarter, Kickstarter chose me. How does that work? And who knows?
Yeah. And everyone I've ever seen, almost everyone I've ever seen get that, they're like surprised.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they went for it. It's just that it shows up on their door. Hey, we're promoting you, and they're like, what?
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Like all of a sudden, one day you just get an email from Kickstarter, and they're just like, "You got a golden ticket." It's like, oh, okay, cool.
And suddenly you're elbow deep in Oompa Loompas. But anyway, yeah. And Cindy Kemp says, "I was just curious because my brain looks for patterns." Cindy, there is a scientific name for that, because when I worked in the comic shop, we had an Illinois state lottery machine, and people were keeping statistics on what would the next number to come up was going to be. And there is something about the human brain that automatically seeks patterns, even in things that are random chance. Carl Westman says, yeah, someone is taking it a different way. They kept the gasser in Mattoon. Yeah, and that's about the only similarity to the Mad Gasser cheerleader of Calhoun County, which is available on lulu.com. Do a search for Carl Witzman. And also while you're there, look for Donna Carleen and some of her great books like Woodstock Nights and The Seduction of Lily Monroe for mature audiences only, which means I can't read it because I'm far from mature. Cindy Kemp says, if the gaming gig works out, we might be trying to crowdfund as much as $50K.
Mm-hmm.
Games do really good on Kickstarter. For the most part, they will bring in a lot of money. That's where some of their biggest money comes in. They are more known for gaming than comic books by far.
RPG is their biggest.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, comic books, I believe, is like number 2 on Kickstarter as far as types of projects, either number 2 or number 1 now.
I think so.
Isn't now? Ooh.
Yeah, and until the Brandon Sanderson thing, I don't know if you guys know about it.
Gosh,
I can tell you about that.
No, I haven't heard about that at all.
Oh my God.
We'll tell you in a minute. But anyway, before that, it was Rich Burlew who does a gaming-related comic strip called Order of the Stick, and he was asking for like $5,000, I think, to reprint some of his early cartoons, and he wound up getting like a couple of $1 million to the point where he had to say, "Guys, I can't come up with any more stretch goals for you because you've outdistanced me." But
That's so cool. I love that. I love that so much.
And he's a nice guy too. That's even better.
That's even better.
But Eric, there's a fantasy author by the name of Brandon
Oh,
Sanderson.
I know.
Oh, okay. No, we talked about that last night on the Star Chamber show, and I think he's up to something like 29 million.
Yeah.
He's still got about 2 weeks left to go.
Yeah, he's out there breaking records. Have you guys read? Well, you remember I actually reviewed a Brandon Sanderson graphic novel, the Dark One.
Yes, that's right.
It was fantastic. I mean, his gosh, I mean, he's the one that finished the Wheel of Time series
for Robert
after
Jordan,
the original author passed away.
Yeah.
And his oh my gosh, the Stormlight Archive is just brilliant. So good.
I hear he's fantastic.
I'm a fan of his. I'm really glad it's doing well.
That's great. That's great. Super. And I'm writing this next term down because I always want to remember it. It's pareidolia, spelled wrong, but I can look it up later. Looking for patterns. I'm writing that down. We'll find the right spelling on that later. But thank you, Carl. Thank you very much for that. And Cindy kept, wow, yeah, seriously. But as I was saying last night on Star Chamber, check it out on Blog Talk Radio. The thing is, when these guys ask for like money and it exceeds their wildest dreams, the thing is, any one of us could do it too.
Yep.
It could happen to any one of us. And so that's why study these people, study what they're doing. And of course, build your fan base. Find your tribe, bring them along, keep them informed of what you're doing. And you're very welcome, Donna, Carleen. I'm a fan, not just a friend. So
and be consistent with them.
Exactly.
You have to be consistent, because if you're there one moment and then 4 months later they don't hear from you, you're going to lose a lot more people. But you have to be consistent.
Well, that's it. My Patreon page originally, I've had that thing for about 5 years, but it's only like the last couple I've really done anything with it. But originally when I put it up, I had it up for like 2 years, didn't do anything at all with it. Got one follower. I think he took pity on me and pledged for $1 a month, and then I just kind of let it sit there, and he left. And I don't blame him. I'm not gonna chase him down because it's on me. And we've got her back here, Christy Selmer. Hello, you. Brando is the best. There we go. And Carl Wisman says, and how many years does it take to mail out all that stuff? I know that Brandon Sanderson is using a company called Backer Kit. Michael Watson uses it too, and so does Karen Nicole.
That's actually Kickstarter, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a Kickstarter thing. Or
it's for crowdfunding, but it's not necessarily Kickstarter. It's not.
I think Kickstarter owns them now, though.
Yeah, I think
I haven't heard.
They at least partnered with them. I don't know if they own them.
I don't think that merger went through as of yet, but they handle the actual fulfillment portions of that. It doesn't necessarily is dealing with Kickstarter, because you can still have Indiegogos to still do with the Backer Kit.
And it's not cheap either, I don't think.
No, they take.
We looked into it, and it's no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah.
Now, if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars,
oh well, yeah. If you're Brandon Sanderson, by all means.
If you bring it in like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, it's like
right. It's not.
I mean, you're scraping just to make a profit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start hitting the 5 digits, that's when you really start looking at it. When your back total start getting to like 250, 500, stuff like that, that's when Backer Kit is the option.
When you're like me and you're just getting on Kickstarter going, alms for the poor, then that you don't need Backer Kit for that.
Yeah. That's when you bribe all your friends to come over and say, we got pizza.
Even though I've had 3 successful campaigns and they've grown each time, I still get really worried when I get ready to launch.
Oh, me too.
I'm almost at the point where I'm almost ready to give up on crowdfunding again.
Again?
It's just not for me. It's not a sustainable revenue stream. It's just really not.
Yeah.
It's
if it
tough.
doesn't work for you, yeah.
Oh, I can see that. And, and then there's also, the people, it seems like they do just one Kickstarter after another for, different, unrelated projects, it seems. And I'm not, dissing any of my friends or anything. I'm dissing people I don't know.
Sure, Brian. Rodman and I understand.
Well,
Yes, we understand and we don't care. So go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Mister working on issue 8 and working on issue 4. You know?
Nebula 2, end of April. Nebula.
Right.
What did I say?
Nebulizer.
That's the
I like
girl
it
Get
too.
it
version of
right,
my
Eric.
The
comic.
Nebulizer. And Zombie World of Oz, beginning of April.
But I don't bring
Save up your money
that up.
now.
I don't bring that up to discourage people. I just bring it up because I know my fan base. It's like my fan base. It's kind of hard to bring them over to a platform that they don't want to use, especially when they know it's like, oh, I want to see you at a show, a couple of months. I get it from you there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I know, like I follow a podcast that talks about this very subject. There are some people that Kickstarter is, they can utilize Kickstarter instead of shows almost now, and then there are people who realize Kickstarter really wasn't for them, and so they might do like a small campaign, but the rest of their money is at shows because that's what they've built a history doing that.
Right.
And that, hey man, whatever works, that's I will always tell people, like, if you've got a system and it works, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just grow with it. Keep building on the thing that works.
Yeah. Well, and something I also want to bring up is that when you do those ultra low goals, somebody is going to get on your comment and say, well, like I've seen Kickstarters as low as $100.
Yeah.
And the first comment is usually, then why don't you just pull out your credit card and fund it yourself instead of trying to tap us? So, and then also you've got people who, if you have like a really high amount, they aren't interested in being a part of that.
See, that tells me that either A, that backer didn't read the description of what you're asking for, or B, that person who's crowdfunding did not specify what the funds are going for.
Most of the ones that I've seen that with are the latter. I would say that they're not real specific about, so much of this is going to postage, so much of this is going into printing and promotion, etc. That's just, here's the money I need.
Because I'm always upfront. It's like, if I crowdfund 9 times out of 10, I only crowdfunding for printing.
Yeah.
All the rest of stuff, I tell them, I come out of my own pocket for this.
Right.
I just need, consider this pre-sale. I just need help to get the stuff printed.
Right.
And on average, I ask anywhere between maybe like $400 to $500.
And I know creators that, and eventually I may get to this point, but I know creators that, when they have a good, they're consistent, they have a good fan base, good readership, their readers want to support them more than just printing the books.
Right.
A lot of them, so they'll add like, hey, I want to print the books, but I also want to, use $10,000 to free up some more things that we could, like Brian, when you say, when you reach certain goals with your Patreon, you're going to buy new equipment, you're going to do those things, that kind of stuff. As long as you say that's what the money is going towards, a lot of people can still be on board with that, because a lot of people be like, hey, if he gets more money to do this stuff in the future, we get more stuff out of him. So, but you have to be transparent, because if you're just like, I have one issue that costs $4 and I want to raise $20,000. It's like, that's a little much, buddy. What are you doing here?
Yeah, and I've seen plenty of those. I saw one a few years ago that was like they wanted $50,000 for like a 20-page comic book.
Yeah, and that's just too much.
Yeah, and that's it's not intended to feed you all year round with one Kickstarter.
But some people, that's what they want crowdfunding to be. They want them to just pay their bills.
Yeah,
and it's
hookers
like
and blow. Hookers and blow.
As opposed to the important stuff that Eric brings up. Yeah.
But like, I know a guy that like his campaign completely bombed, and he trashed Kickstarter for it like a big baby, because he was asking for $40,000 for one issue of a comic. And he said it in the reason why he wanted so much money was because he had to feed his family, and he wanted to, and I'm like,
that's what GoFundMe's for.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, buddy, like, there's one thing, if you are Brandon Sanderson, you could maybe do that. You could maybe be like, hey, I want to dedicate a year to doing this series, and I need $40,000 for it. That's one thing. But to ask for $40,000 just to create one book that's only 24 pages long, like, that's a little much.
Yeah.
You're not going to get people there that way.
Exactly. And the thing also, for those who don't know, the thing we mentioned for Brandon Sanderson is actually for 4 books that will be released on a quarterly basis. These are books are already done that were done during the lockdown. So they're finished. He's probably editing and formatting now. And then the months in between are going to be basically swag boxes for the followers.
Are they novellas or are they full-fledged novels? Because I know that guy
novels, I believe.
That guy pumps stuff out like crazy. So
some guys can do that. One friend of mine, Eric Asher, out of St. Louis, can do a volcano-sized novel, first draft in a first month.
That's crazy.
It is. And the problem is he's insanely talented, so and a nice guy. It really gripes my butt. Anyway, why can't he be a dick like me? Anyway, and everybody's going, "No, Brian, you're short selling yourself." Nobody's a dick like you. Anyway, to support that one book that was mentioned earlier, there is the Kickstarter address for that, and for the other one, The Mad Gasser. It is a horror book loosely based on the legend of the Mad Gasser of Mattoon, Illinois.
Now that is just for Carl to go look at. Nobody go back that. Go buy Carl's book.
Yeah. Remember, Lulu.com. You want to check out Lulu.com and look up Carl Witzman and Donna Carlene because they are our friends. And full books. Thank you, Christy. Appreciate that very much. I thought so.
This book. You want to grab this book, not the other one. If it doesn't look like this, don't do it.
That's right.
There you go.
And that's actually a super book. I've read it. I've left a review of it, like all good people should. And definitely worth it. And it's worth the money. And it's very affordable, people. Definitely check it out. Carl is working on the sequel right now. And anyway, Cindy Kep says it was a challenge to juggle the day job with the Kickstarter. Yeah, Kickstarter on its own, any crowdfunding is basically another full-time job.
Yep.
It's marketing. Yeah. Marketing is a full-time job, and you're doing it for 30 days consistently, or however long you want to run that campaign. So it is
however long you want to torture yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I get a lot of requests for people to do, to come on my shows when they start Kickstarters, and if they're my buddies, I don't mind at all. Really, it's I want to do them some good, but I get them towards the end of the campaign, and most of the time you can carry groceries in the bags under their eyes. They are beyond running on fumes.
I'll tell you what, my last campaign, of course, I post it everywhere on social media every day, and if you got followers on, most of those, you can schedule your posts ahead of time, and they go out certain times, so you don't have to bury yourself with that.
Right.
I did very few promotional shows for it.
Right.
I mean, I kind of I didn't have time for it. I was like, if it's going to do what it's going to do, and it was the most successful one I've had. So,
and that's why I kind of wonder if, I see a lot of our friends doing show after show after show. And I know how exhausting broadcasting constantly can be.
And I don't mind doing the shows, but I was just, it was the middle of the lockdown. I was busy with other stuff and trying to make sure I get the book finished, and taking that time to do shows was just kind of out of the question.
Found the best advertising you can do, as opposed to being on shows, which that's fine, but just sharing your stuff as you're going.
Like that, encourage people to do the same thing. Yeah.
Like just
share other people's stuff. They
absolutely,
see you share it.
Don't just make
they
it
know
about
you're
yourself. Yeah.
You can go up to them and say, "I shared your stuff. Why aren't you sharing mine?"
Just like that.
Exactly. That's bring the diplomatic corps next week, by the way. And Carl Wisman said, thanks. The return of the Mad Gasser should be done any day. Excellent. And Cindy Kep says, since you get most of the funding in the first week and last week, why not just do a 2-week Kickstarter?
There are people that do that. They're called quick starters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a few people. Dirk Manning did one.
Yeah.
What
Sorry, I'm being pervy.
Oh, yeah.
Not you.
You just get in and out real quick, real easy.
Well, I probably could have done that. I funded in 37 minutes last time, but I wouldn't. I raised over 6,000. If I would have kept it open for those 4 weeks, I would have ended up at like 3,000. So.
Yeah.
Well, here's an idea. Now, I've mentioned that I used to work for public broadcasting, and one of the most successful campaigns when I was working there at the University of Illinois was a campaign for the radio division of the. I worked for the broadcasting arm, and they had a thing where for they of course set their goals to start out. I think let's say it was like 35 grand back in 1989. Okay. They said that like for every $1,000 they raised over their goal, they would cut out like an hour of fundraising. They cut out something like a day and a half, 2.5 days of broadcasting, and that should send a message. Which I brought up during the after meeting. This could explain why I'm not there anymore. But anyway, that people, I think. And I don't want to. I don't know how to say this without sounding mean, but people don't want to always see you having your hand out.
Yeah.
Actively asking for money. And I know it's really bad with public broadcasting, but I said, maybe they're getting tired of seeing and hearing us. They just want to give the money and get the reward, and then just moved on. I wonder if Kickstarter could work that, or Indiegogo could work that way, where you could cut back the deadline.
Yeah. I know for me, I have found great success in having fun with being self-aware of asking for money. And I do that through goofy, silly memes that I create every other day during the campaign.
I love your campaigns. I really do.
I have a blast. I have a blast doing it because literally you're just making fun of the fact that you're asking for money, but you are asking for money.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, I want to bring this thing to life, but it's kind of awkward to just be like, you want to give me money? So let's just laugh about it.
But you're also giving something for the money. You're not just saying
yeah. It's
money.
not just taking money from people, but it's still a little awkward too. And I think a lot of it is technically still spamming people, but you're doing it in a way that is funny and it's entertaining. So you're even in that situation, you're spamming them, but you're giving them entertainment while doing it. You're not just like, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. And people get really annoyed with that. I mean, I know I do.
Yeah.
So, so that's, we decided to kind of get away from that in our marketing and do more fun, silly stuff because people enjoy that more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I love those campaigns.
I ended up making a book because of my advertisements, especially with Primetime Saturday Night. I got a advertising book. Well, it's just like just one panel to 4 panel shorts that I use from images inside the actual Primetime Saturday Night books, and I applied it towards the campaign instead of the actual story. And I had enough where I got a 24-page book, and if I do more, it's like it becomes another issue that I can always add on to the campaign.
Yeah, when Eric and I did Spencer Spook, 5 years ago, we published. Yeah, ish. But we put in a lot of art, but it was like most of it from what was reprints of the old stuff. And we're saying, hey, we got some new stuff. And then when Eric started finishing up his stories in there, we started printing that, and it became a teaser. It's like, would you like to see like the next row of art? Then let's reach this goal. So art helps sell, and I think having a good attitude about it too. And just keep in mind, in our case, it's comic books. It's not like we're curing anything except boredom. So just have fun with it, and Cindy, I want to thank you for those questions. Those were incredible questions. They really are. And Indeed. It's, stuff we need to revisit, because I honestly, I felt for the last several years that Kickstarter is becoming as viable a distribution method of wares as, say, Diamond or Lunar, and it's also a great way to increase your mailing list, get on shows, get your face out there. Because that gave me a big boost. I was doing a few shows. Not a whole lot of people were doing shows when we had our Kickstarter, the first one. And
I don't think so. Yeah, because that was before. Well, I was before.
I know. Yeah. It was.
That's pretty much when all the shows started, is when that happened, because a lot of people were doing crowdfunding and stuff. Like a lot more people started doing shows at that time.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Clyde,
Also
you've been
important,
pretty
just stay away
quiet.
from the drama. Stay away from the drama.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
oh
grief,
God,
yes.
yes.
Both sides. Just don't pick a side. Just
And I-
stick comic.
Word
I do
of
comics.
advice,
I draw.
If you're on a show and they start talking about, dramatic things within the comic book community, change the subject as fast as you can.
Seriously.
Change it to something lighthearted.
Mhm.
Clyde, you've been pretty quiet, man. Do you have anything to add? Like I know you haven't really done any Kickstarters yourself, but
We'll get it out of him.
yeah. Come on.
You want to? You want to?
Oh well, I mean,
Say
I've got something for him coming anyway. He's already agreed to something he doesn't know about.
Okay.
Okay.
Will there be a video involved with this? That's what I'm asking for a friend.
Multiple videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh la la! We're ready for this. So with that, again, thank you everyone for the great questions, Cindy. Thank you for the great comments, everyone. But I think it's time we vamoose, and I'm going to say I saw somebody do this earlier today. Think lively. Now I will go last because I said so, but because I have my finger on the trigger. But we're going to go around the room, and when your face fills the entire screen, I want you to tell everybody how to keep up with your amazing exploits. Okay. And so we're going to go at random here, and I'm going to start with Joe D. McFee.
It's right there on the screen. The link tree is where you can find everything that I do and where I'm at, and even with the YouTube channel where you can actually get these lovely books as well.
Ooh.
All that stuff is right there on that link tree that is on the screen. If I could pull back, there you go. The link tree right there. That's how you catch up with me. And I will see you guys later on this week or Saturday.
Sounds good. And on the desk of the Small Press Publisher, 10 p.m. on Joe's channel, right?
That is correct.
See, I remember this stuff. Thank you so much, Joe, for everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And let's go to pick a number between 1 and 573. Oh, I got it right. There we go. Let's go to Clyde Hall. Clyde, tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
comicsbookcase.com, doomrocket.com, Rising Tide, stormgatepress.com, and right here, Comic Book Spectrum.
Most excellent. Thank you so much. And Eric Hawkins. He's picked another winner.
Facebook, look up my name, or Stone Door Studios, or Zama for World of Oz, or if you go to Twitter, ES_Hawkins, you'll find me there. I'm on Instagram, eHawkins1971. Yeah, you can find me just about anywhere. And look for me, share links, and sign up for the Zama for World of Oz #4. Like I said, we already have 70 people signed up. It doesn't mean they're going back, but it's always nice to see a lot of people sign up early. Because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I got hardback, trade paperback, definitely the little 3D print.
Ooh.
And I'm not painting them. In case anyone's asking, I'm not painting them. This takes a long time. It's bad enough it takes 5 hours to print and took me 2 months to sculpt it. So I will prime them. They're ready for painting, so you have fun with them. Those are going to be limited. I mean, I got 1 page of original art. That's going to be it's one of the variant covers I actually drew traditionally instead of digitally. If you get the hardback of the trade paperback or the trade back, I'm putting a sketch in every single one of them too. So a lot of cool stuff coming up. So April 8th, mark that on your calendar.
Definitely, and we're gonna pimp that out as much as we can. Thank you very much, Eric.
Thank you.
All
Thanks for
right.
always having me on here. It's fun.
We love having you.
I love throwing books.
Well, thank you for allowing yourself to be had. Anyway, speaking of which, here he is, the Ring of Fire himself, Mr. Brian Rodman. Brian.
Hi, hello, my friends. It's been a thundering, wonderful St. Patrick's Day, don't you think so? So what we're going to do here is you got to go to brianrodman.com and check out all the little nice fun books we got there for you. So just go ahead, head on there. You can catch me on the Dastardly Dingoes, and we have a lot of fun. So have a wonderful night. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. And thank you, Luna, for not showing us your backside this week. Yeah,
Ooh.
not yet, at least. We may break into normal broadcasting if Luna decides to show off her sphincter to us. And Carl Witzman says, good night, everyone. Carl, thank you for being here. Love you, man. And love you too, Donna Carly. And she goes, night, Luna. Night, everyone. I knew she'd get around to us eventually. Thank you so much, you two. Thank you for being here, as always. And I'm Brian K. Morris, author, publisher, former mortician's assistant, Facebook famous YouTuber on Too Much of the Time. And you want to find out what we're doing, check out risingtide.pub, where we share our broadcasting and our publishing with y'all. Please check it out. And thank you for being here, Cindy. Love you, hon. Hope you have a great evening. All right. And thank you for your questions. And also, we do this every Thursday night at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Central. If you want to join in the live conversation. If not, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave us a comment. I'll try to reply to you. And also, please like, share, and subscribe on that channel because it helps us very, very much. And we do sincerely appreciate it. Also, please check out all the other things we have going, such as our Patreon page, where we have mentioned that people have gone to see my next novel, and we've got one more chapter to publish before we start a new project there. But anyway, please check out what we offer for your financial support every month at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And we're a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We're being followed by Joe Dog McKeel and Stupid O'Clock, great geek conversation that's going to last you a couple hours, long enough to get Dan Hollifield be the last man standing with more guests, more great conversation there. Going into Friday morning, we'll be back tomorrow morning with Nevermind the Furthermore and further programming notes. Please check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook and give it a like if you would. And also, we want to thank our sponsors. Yes, two of them, Rising Tide Publications. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show. And also, thank you very much to Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. For all of your publishing needs for your books, your comics, whatever, please contact Jeffrey Hayes at plasmafiregraphics.com and find out why he is the person people go to when they want some really great work at indie creator friendly prices. Check that out at plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And again, to everyone who has commented and been involved in the insanity tonight, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate all of you, and we hope that you'll join us next week on Thursday night for another episode of Comic Book Spectrum. And as always, I am your host, Brian K. Morris, imploring you to stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great week, everyone, but read more comics, and we'll see you next week on Comic Book Spectrum. Take care.
Thank you for watching Comic Book Spectrum, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. Please join us next week for another look at comics, past, present, and future. If you enjoyed this, please give the show a like and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. To receive our free monthly newsletter, go to www.risingtide.pub and be sure to give the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook a like in order to receive news about upcoming shows, including Clever Title Pending, Stupid O'Clock, Clever as Hail, Comics Chaos and Sass, Tidbits and Scribbles, the Historical Fencing Guild, and Nevermind the Furthermore. See you next week.